Hey everybody, I'm Clifford Stumby, the Pop Song Professor, and welcome to my channel where we make English class awesome by talking about song lyrics. Billie Eilish just released her new music video for All the Good Girls Go to Hell. And if that isn't a song title that perfectly describes Billie Eilish's brand, I don't know what is. We're gonna talk about the lyrics, but first let's describe the music video and try to figure out what's going on. So basically it starts with this snapshot of, bury a friend, where we see all of these hands poking needles into her back. Apparently whatever those were have caused her to grow wings at this point, and we see them start to rip through the flesh on her back, and it's kind of disgusting. And the next moment we see her with these enormous wings falling through the clouds to the earth, where she falls into a pit of tar. Now obviously with that reference to bury a friend, there's a possibility that there is going to be more videos in this series. It doesn't seem super tightly cohesive as a story, mostly because bury a friend, sure, had references to her being poked with needles, but that story didn't really go anywhere, and it was more about the visuals, the imagery, and the themes of particular scenes rather than some overarching narrative. There's not a huge narrative happening in this music video. We do see the needles from some organized force, people acting in connection with each other, multiple people create these wings, and the next moment she's falling out of the sky. Could she have escaped? Could she have been thrown out? Was she a failed experiment? Did things just kind of go weird? Who knows what? But in any case, we cut to her falling to the earth. She falls into the tar pit. And it's kind of a deserty area. My guess is probably somewhere in California. You'll see why in a second. And she just starts walking around. And then pretty soon the tar catches on fire, which catches up to her. And even though she's not really seeming to sing so much, she's more just walking and just looking kind of creepy with those same black eyes we saw in the Bury a Friend music video. The fire burns all of the feathers off of her wings, and now she's left with what are basically just the skeleton outlines of wings, almost looking like bat wings, definitely looking more devil than angel, because the wings appeared to be kind of more angel wings than anything as she was falling. They were white and fluffy, and now all the feathers are burned off and we're left with who Billie Eilish is now, which I think is very telling of the theme. A lot of what we see from her is sort of like this normalness being stripped away. In this case, it's being stripped away by fire, and it's taking the good, nice, fluffy, the good girl thing that she had going on, more or less, and it's revealing that, now she's just like this tar-covered, black-eyed, bat wing person from the devil. I don't know exactly what, right? I mean, I know what the theme is, but she's basically like this new miserable creation in this video. Beyond that, we mostly just see the fire reaching up all around her and burning down this small town that she's fallen into. In the fire though, we see these silhouettes of like strippers dancing. And I think this is gonna have a lot to do with the themes of the lyrics, and we'll get into that in a second, but I don't know, I think that's probably partially a reference to, strippers are not considered good girls. The strippers are probably representative of bad girls dancing in the flames. Maybe we normally expect bad girls to go to hell, something like that. And I think the lyrics are gonna reveal more here. So why don't we jump into those? The intro has the line, "My Lucifer is lonely," which I think, based on some research, is probably a reference to the angel and the devil on your shoulders, and there's no angel for Billie Eilish. She's just being influenced by the dark side, and she's talked a lot in interviews about how she's going through some stuff mentally and emotionally, how the fame is actually really oppressive and heavy for her. And so that devil is whispering in her ear. That's the depression, that's the dark thoughts, that's maybe where she gets the black eyes in the music video from, right? I think that verse 1 is probably describing this Lucifer or the demon, because as you'll see, the song has a lot of imagery of basically the angels and the devils talking to each other, or the devil and God talking to each other, and kind of looking at humans and being like, what are they doing? Kind of taking a pause in the war. The verse 1's standing there killing time, can't commit to anything but a crime, that's the devil. Peter's on vacation, an open invitation, so I'll break into heaven. Animals, evidence, pearly gates look more like a picket fence, so, heaven's great, but apparently it's not big enough to keep the devil out. Once you get inside them, got friends but can't invite them, which is interesting. Seems to be kind of calling out people who would consider themselves in heaven as, maybe thinking that they're better than other people. That seems like it might be just a little bit of a shout out, but doesn't stick with the main themes of the song. And we get to the main theme of the song in the pre-chorus. Hills burn in California, my turn to ignore ya, don't say I didn't warn ya. This song has been confirmed by Finneas as being about global warming and being about how there's continuing like wildfires in California, which is why I think that that town in the music video might be a Californian town, as we see this, you know, potential wildfire start up in the music video. And a lot of this song is about global warming, and they're basically saying that, you know, the angels and the devils are kind of scratching their head and being like, why are they ruining the planet they live on? Like, what's even the point of us fighting over them when they're destroying it? So hills burn in California, my turn to ignore you. The devil is like, all right, well, I guess I don't need to do anything. Don't say I didn't warn you. Then we get into the chorus. Well, actually, let's talk verse 2 real quick. Look at you needing me. You know I'm not your friend without some greenery. And that could be the devil talking to the humans, or it could be the devil talking to God. Walk in wearing fetters. Peter should know better. Your cover up is caving in. Man is such a fool. Why are we saving him? Poisoning themselves now, begging for our help. Wow. And again, that's devils and the angels basically saying, what's going on? The whole Peter should know better. Your cover up is caving in. That might be a reference to, like, you know, God sending some people down to hell to say like, hey, can you help us out? Like, we don't know what's going on here. Obviously not theologically accurate by, I think, any religion that I can think of, but that's the imagery she's going for, right? She's making a point with it. And then we get to the chorus, which has to be one of the most confusing things I've read in a while. All the good girls go to hell, because even God herself has enemies. And once the water starts to rise and heaven's out of sight, she'll want the devil on her team. And this seems to be about God wanting to save humans, but not taking global warming seriously maybe, or the humans kind of turning on God and being those people going to hell, or being those enemies, and letting global warming happen. And once the water starts to rise as the polar ice caps melt, and then heaven's out of sight because the water's too high, we're drowning in it, then God will want the devil on her team to try to sort out this whole situation. All the good girls go to hell. Really thematically, honestly, it's difficult to comprehend how this fits into the message of the song, but it could be that they're saying, you know, people who are watching out for global warming, watching out for the planet, they're gonna drown too. But the God herself has enemies, maybe is saying, you know, you're too good, and it's kind of like a fight between these two populations, and God's like, I don't like you, you're going to hell anyway. But it wraps up with the post-chorus. My Lucifer is lonely, there's nothing left to save now, probably referring to the earth. My God is gonna owe me, because apparently God let this happen on the earth. There's nothing left to save now. So yeah, a lot going on. You know, obviously there's that whole global warming topic and conversation, and then she pulls in the angels and the devil imagery, and then has a host of lines smattered throughout that just basically sound like Billie Eilish catchphrases. She does a really good job at all three of those things, and the music video complements it all very well thematically, and maybe even literally, if what they're referring to there is the beginning of a California wildfire, and perhaps this one in particular got started by an angel being thrown out of heaven, which is also a hugely biblical reference there. The Lucifer, the devil, was thrown out of heaven for rebelling against God according to Christian theology, and so falls to earth, and now all of a sudden global warming and fires and carnage are a problem. So there's a lot going on here. There's many layers, and it's easy to see why Billie Eilish's audience is getting more and more of a reputation for really thinking what she has to say, because she has a lot to say. There's a lot to dig into, and she's just got layers and layers and layers to what's happening here. In any case, that's my explanation of this song by Billie Eilish. Sorry that it wasn't out quite as early as I usually like it, but go ahead and check out this video explaining Bury a Friend, and then this one explaining Bad Guy. Really interesting stuff, guys. I mean, I'm excited to see what comes out next from her. I'll talk to you next time.